all of technical analysis is based on research done in the stock market. Cryptocurrencies, because of their having and emission schedules, will create completely different phenomenon on the chart. There's actually repeating trend lines that will happen over and over again across every crypto chart, from Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, all the way to, of course, Kaspa. These origin trend lines can often be spaced out by a Fibonacci measurement tool. That's how distinct this anomaly is. Using this technique just in the past 70 days, we put this golden X on the Kaspa chart 45 days ago, which gave us a buy price of 10.4 cents and basically predicted exactly where the candle's path would lead to. We also use this technique to give the November 3rd 10x leverage trade 48 hours before the Kaspa God candle even appeared. We're gonna dive into just setting up only the Kaspa, just the trend lines. There's a lot more that you can incorporate into this with your fundamental research, your patterns, and some other charting indicators, just to start to give you guys a taste for what we're going to be able to offer inside the Patreon, starting in the beginning, which for us was in April. Kaspa just made this massive jump to the upside, and because of it, it came on our radar. We're eyeballing this and we're saying, worst case scenario, this could probably form a double top and we'll be able to make some money on a quick swing trade. Now, in the meantime, we were actually in a short, or preparing for a short on Avax based on these repeating origin trend lines right here. You can see when we zoom in, we noticed that there was a double/triple top formation on Avax, and we were waiting for it to reapproach this descending origin trend line coming all the way off the peaks of the 2021 bull market, so it could bounce off and then go lower. That way we could time using maximum leverage. We planned on using a full 10x leverage, and we were able to stack into this trade starting with just a few thousand. We ended up getting $12,500 into it. The rest of the market was going long on all coins during April, in the beginning of May, but we were for sure that they were all going down. We used this technical analysis, and then we ran a side research basis for fundamental news that could have anything to do with the economy, anything to do with the Fed, right around May. And we found out that the government was going to be cutting off all their COVID relief money to all these big Fortune 500 companies right on May 11th. Kaspa has this massive spike, and off of it is forming a descending triangle. At the time, descending triangles were running hot and they were very bearish. So we're starting to get pretty confident that there's going to be some downside here. Kaspa breaks to the low, and then it starts to kind of level off right here on June 10th is where we're able to start our X-axis Fibonacci pitch, because these repeating trend lines are going to often be able to be spread out on a Fibonacci pitch. We harvested this trend line off of the bottom of this descending triangle until it breaks low. That's how we initially found this trend line. And when we clone this and move it all the way into right now, just coming off the God candle break, we've been following the exact same trend line. This is the exact same trend line that was part of the handle in August when we came off 5.5 cents and went down to like 3.2. Same exact trend line. So cloning these is extremely important. And this is what we were talking about on the fundamental research, actually changing our technical analysis. And this goes so much deeper, which we'll be able to release more inside the Patreon. Make sure you guys subscribe to get your hands on it. It's going to be the best value across the board you'll be able to find on all of social media. Well, on June 10th, we have our X-axis Fibonacci pitch already set up. And what we realize from these is when you start getting out of this cluster right here, this kind of cobwebs of multiple trend lines very close together, which is how we predicted the God candle, which we'll get to in a minute, then things start to open up and then you start to see some upside. Eyeballing it right here at 2.5 cents, and we're thinking, okay, once it hits this blue trend line, it's going to get some pullback and then we'll buy in. There are some other indicators that we're add on for an entirely new video. We officially give the buy signal right at 2.4 cents. Now we're going to color down the x-axis Fibonacci pitch, and we're going to add an entirely new trend line with its correlating Fibonacci pitch right now. Crypto Chris, I will give credit to, back here this summer, also found this trend line, and we put the correlating Fibonacci pitch on top of it, which we have set up so the top of the gray, the bottom of the blue, is right on the April peak here, bounced off of the golden pocket right here. This, in correlation with the peak in April being at this level, just eyeballed to make perfect sense. And we can see, looking forward into the future, this was a correct setup, because actually the candle went all the way to the tippity top of this Fibonacci pitch that we have set up off of this support trend line, amazingly enough, fast forwarding into the future, as well as it plays off these levels so well. Specifically right now, how powerful this blue to gray level is that we're on using support as we speak is also playing back all the way to April. Broken out of our x-axis, which is now in the black Fibonacci pitch. So there's an entirely new x-axis Fibonacci pitch that we set up doing the same spacing. Once we get to about the golden pocket, like the third, the fourth, the fifth bar out there, we can really start to get an accurate eyeball. So we set up this next Fibonacci pitch, and we actually took a pause from uploading because we know there's not going to be any action for Kaspa for weeks, because we're stuck in this cluster of resistance lines. And once we start to get to the edge of it, now we're thinking, okay, there's going to be a breakout. The rest of the market is exploding to the upside. Kaspa's left behind. The doubters are jumping in, saying it's going to crash. It's going to pull down to 3 cents. Even big YouTubers like House of Crypto are very confident. Everyone that's got Kaspa, they're going to lose big money. They're just pumping this content out. All of a sudden, we upload a video November 3rd. We're saying Kaspa's about to go to the upside. We're opening a 10x leverage position. Kaspa suddenly starts breaking to the upside, and we actually discover a new origin trend line. We can see this green origin trend line right here. When we clone it and we zoom back to April, it fits like an absolute glove. So we were holding that as support all the way until the 5th of December. Once we lost this support of the green origin trend line, the thought had crossed my mind to go delta neutral. That's when you're holding a bunch of something in cold storage, but then you go ahead and you open a short position with leverage against it to kind of neutralize the downward action. The reason why we did not call for a short trade was because we didn't see that much downside. We're only going to go till this blue level. That's going to be our stronghold where we're going to turn around and bounce off. We've been predicting this entire time, but that's not how we set up the golden X. What we did with the golden X is very similar to what we did with Avax, foreshadowing to the beginning of this video. We're taking this trend line, the exact same one off of the August downside and the April descending triangle, following it all the way down until the 10th of January, which is the SEC's deadline, using our fundamental research onto our technical analysis once again. This was giving us this buy price of 10.4. We're private coaching someone via emails, and we're buying some more cold storage ourselves. Once the candle surpasses this final x-axis Fibonacci pitch level here, that we could get a massive jump to the upside. There's also the other possibility that we enter into another cluster formation, and we see a few weeks to a month of resistance before Kaspa's next upside moves take place. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. Your family and friends might be looking for cold storage. You can become an affiliate marketer. Use the discount code JesseandAI. The Tangent wallet's like a debit card. Doesn't take any seed phrases necessary. It's got this new RFI technology. Super easy to use. Get the discount and get kickbacks when you help your family and friends. You can also store all kinds of funky altcoins on here, from Kaspa to PlayZap. We'll catch you on the next one.